Welcome to this week's Ask Charlie. This isn't what I actually had planned for this week. I had planned to share with you a vlog of us going to Cheltenham, but sadly we are not at Cheltenham. Today we are here because a couple of the children have got COVID, so our plans are cancelled. We're getting very good at being adaptable, changing things. I think it's this trip I was excited about. I actually really thought it was going to happen, which is obviously jinxed it. But I think we've got so good at not getting too disappointed when things don't go according to plan. We've got so good at kind of adapting and changing, haven't we? Anyway, if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell to be notified of my weekly videos. Leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. This week we have got a Q&A. I asked Instagram to ask me questions, and I was going to share with you a Q&A this week because obviously we weren't going on our wonderful trip. We were going to go and stay with Coco's godmother and have a lovely, lovely evening with them and just have a bit of time together, which is disappointing, but we will make up for it some other way. So I asked the questions and here they are. So let's dive in. The first one is, how much freezer space do you need for batch cooking? To be honest, you can batch cook with just a small freezer. I used to batch cook when I lived in London, and I just had, a small, 2 drawers was all I had, 2 small drawers. So it depends on how much space you have. I have 3 freezers, which I know sounds quite excessive. I have one for my catering jobs. I have one for household outside. It's just a family freezer. And then I've got one in the kitchen here, which has things like peas and just things that I need on a regular basis. I don't want to be running out to the garage. So really, whatever space you have got, you can make it work. And, if it's just a small, if you're by yourself or a couple, you can just, batch cook and put in small portions. And actually you can get a lot of portions in a couple of drawers. So really, whatever you have, you can batch cook. Florence is back on that table over there. She is so naughty. Florence, get down. Get down. She knocked over a vase of daffodils yesterday, which I was pretty cross about. Luckily, nothing was broken. There was just a lot of water everywhere. Anyway, the next question is, any tips on making new friends? Yes, I do. Have a smile on your face, because then you look approachable. Then people want to come and talk to you. If you are, looking serious, not looking friendly, you're unapproachable and people won't come and chat to you. So have a smile, have a sort of open, accepting demeanour, and that will invite people to come and chat to you. It makes such a difference. I was chatting, we had some friends for lunch at the weekend, and darling Philippa is such a great friend, but I was quite intimidated by her when we were first at school. The children were tiny and she's got an older son, so she was, kind of the older cool mum gang. And I was sitting in the car one day, I think waiting to pick up or something. There was a tap at the windscreen and I literally jumped out of my skin. I think I was on my phone or doing something a million miles away, and it was Philippa, and I was, oh, what does she want? She was so friendly and she was so lovely, and we have been firm friends ever since. So go and make that first step. You have got absolutely nothing to lose. What are they going to say? No? You can get chatting to somebody, get to know them, and if you realise that they're not your cup of tea, you really haven't lost very much. But if you don't try, you're never going to make friends. You're never going to meet people. So be approachable, have a smile, be confident, be brave, and go and say hello to that person, or reach out or send a message or an email or whatever it might be and say, do you fancy a cuppa, or, fancy whatever it might be. I use dog walk because I've got a lot of dogs that need walking, and that's a great chance to chat to people. Right, on to the next question. Do your children online game? Do they play Fortnite? Yes, they do. We have a love-hate relationship with Fortnite, and any given opportunity to ban them, so it's only the boys, they are banned. In fact, Gus doesn't play Fortnite, it's Archie mainly. Gus has a Nintendo, a little handheld Nintendo, he plays on that. Arch does play Fortnite, and he will be banned at any opportunity, and he knows that. He has overstepped the mark and broken the rules, and he has had literally month-long bans, and he has learned his lesson the hard way, and hopefully he won't do it again. And it's so difficult parenting today, because you're either that parent that doesn't let them have anything and then they're the odd one out, or I think most of our arguments are about gaming, about tech time. It is really, really difficult, and I think COVID has had a big part to play in that, because of being at home more, of having to isolate, of all the lockdowns, all of that. They have had more time online than they would normally have ever done. So it's about having boundaries, it's about having the rules, it's about sitting down with them and saying, what do you think is fair? How many hours a day do you think is fair to play? Arch isn't allowed to play during the week unless circumstances are different, but when he's at school he doesn't play in the evenings, and he's allowed a few hours at the weekend, but he has to do all of his other stuff first. And at the moment we have a healthy relationship with the whole thing, but trust me, it hasn't been straightforward. Another question about the children: what time do your children go to bed, and what is your evening routine? So they're getting older. Arch is 13, Cokes is 12, and Gus is 10, almost 11. Basically, come home from school, have supper, have a bit of downtime, have a bath, and then tech away. No tech after their bath, and they read in bed, or they come downstairs and chat to us. Simon is amazing at playing cards with them, which is really lovely. School night, Gussie has to be in his room at 8:30, lights out 8:45, 9 o'clock. If he's really into a book, I might let him read slightly longer. Coke's just after 9 for her lights out, and Arch is about 9:30. And then at the weekend, we do let them stay up till about 9:30. If we're having a lovely evening with them, we're really enjoying their company, they may stay up till 10. It's getting later, and I really miss having them all in bed at 7 o'clock. Some nights I used to even get them in bed asleep by 6:45 and then have this blissfully long evening. Those days are long gone. But I do insist that they don't have any tech in their rooms, and after their bath they just have sort of quiet time, reading books, unwinding, chilling out. They do have a thing called Madame Coco's, and they all bundle into Coco's bed and chat and giggle and have fun, which is really sweet. And Coco will invite them into Madame Coco's. It's really gorgeous to watch. Right, the next question. Do you and Si ever get cross or angry with the children, and do you ever argue? Yes, we're human. I have learnt that screaming and shouting at the children doesn't work. I will call everybody down in the calmest manner I possibly can, depending how angry I am. I'll sit everybody around this table and I will say, right, this is not acceptable, this is not on, blah, 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 blah. Because I found screaming and shouting just doesn't work with them. And it doesn't get through to them in the right way. If you imagine somebody screaming and shouting at you, you have that at you back, and it just doesn't achieve anything. So it is much better to kind of sit down calmly and discuss why you are particularly furious. That being said, sometimes I do scream and shout. I try not to. I try to approach things, as I'm always saying, with a gracious heart. But sometimes if I'm pretty furious, if I've said, 10 times, hang up your coat, I might scream, for heaven's sake, whose coat is this? Come and hang it up right now. and they will come and hang it up. They reminded me the other day, I used to have, Mad Mummy used to live in the cupboard under the stairs, and I would say, if you don't sort this out now, Mad Mummy will be coming out of that cupboard, and we do not want her to come out because she is pretty ugly and she's pretty revolting and she's pretty fierce. So you better sort it out right now and give them a bit of a warning. And that lightened the mood by saying Mad Mummy would come out of the cupboard. And they knew I meant business. So they did do it. And actually I just would threaten Mad Mummy. And that was normally on the whole enough to do it. Do you and Si ever get cross? Si also has realised that that approach is a far better one. And sometimes his tone of voice can come across as angry. And he doesn't mean it to, and it will have a negative reaction. And I'll just say, darling, you're using that tone of voice again. It doesn't work. So, yeah, hopefully that helps. That was a bit waffly and rambly, but I haven't, I had a really quick glance at these questions, but I haven't read them properly and haven't given them thought. I wanted this Q&A to be as kind of natural and off the cuff as possible for you. Right, up next. Which items do you not tumble dry, and do any dry better in it than on the line? Okay, Louisa, I don't tumble dry per se from wet ever for clothes. So this possibly could go in the tumble dry just to kind of finish it off. So I dry everything either on the line, the Sheila's made in the laundry room, or above the Arga. And then I will put it on a really low setting in the tumble dryer. And I've got a less iron mode and a low heat. And I literally put it on for 5 minutes. I'll put in like a bundle, maybe 8 items, put them in and just put them on for 5 minutes just to kind of soften them. Because sometimes when you've got things in from the line, they're kind of hard. It just softens them, and then I fold them straight from the tumble dryer. I never put anything in from wet into the tumble dryer, clothes-wise. There's lots of things that I don't put in the tumble dryer to finish them off. So things that I iron don't go in the tumble dryer at all. So those are sort of shirts and yeah, anything that you would iron, I don't bother putting in. And I am quite obsessed with ironing. I do quite a lot of it. And then towels from wet, I put them straight into the tumble dryer on a rapid setting for about 30 minutes, and then I hang them out just to finish off drying. I find if you hang towels out to dry and then put them in the tumble dryer to fluff them up, they don't fluff up very well. If you put them in from wet, they don't need to be bone dry at all. You just put them in sort of 30 minutes and then hang them out. They're fluffy, and that works best. Do you give your kids vitamins, and if so, what brand? Yes, we do. These are Well Kid by Vitabiotics, age 7 to 14, and they are multivits, and they just have those each day. And also this vitamin D spray. Vitamin D is incredibly important. I have talked about it before, how important vitamin D is, but I don't think I've told you this, I'm not sure. So a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, Archie kept getting really, really, really low temperatures, scarily low temperatures. And we had a couple of mad dashes into hospital with him when his temperature was horribly low, and we just couldn't get it back up. It kept happening in the evening, and it was quite worrying. Anyway, they couldn't find anything wrong with him, nothing at all. And then he was referred, had blood tests, all of that malarkey. And it came back that his vitamin D level was low. And ever since he's been having this spray, we haven't had the problem. So vitamin D is so important in so many different levels. I actually heard Dr. Rongin Chatterjee, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, on his podcast, Feel Better, Live More. I love that podcast. And he was talking, in fact, it wasn't on his podcast. He was interviewed by Elizabeth Day on her podcast, How to Fail. And one of his failures was not picking up on the fact that his son was really ill. And his son was really ill when he was baby. I think he was about 6 months old. And it was due to low vitamin D. And it manifests in all sorts of, odd ways. His body started shutting down. And yeah, that episode really resonated. So vitamin D is terribly important. Whether you need and you can get your vitamin levels checked. You can go and have a blood test and get them checked. It's something, to do from time to time. I know that I tend to have low vitamin D, and I spend loads of time outside, and I take my supplements religiously. Every morning when I put my face creams on, I take my vitamins, and it's really important. So this is what I do for the children. That was quite a long answer, wasn't it? Sorry. Next question. Do you have a specific day for ironing, or do you do a little every day? So this is one luxury that we have. We have wonderful, wonderful Piri. Piri has been working for us for 11 years. I was heavily pregnant with Gussie when she came into our lives, and she comes on a Monday and a Wednesday morning, mainly just for ironing. She comes for 3 hours and just will either blitz ironing, or I might say, if I don't have time, could you clean a bathroom, or could you do the B&B room? I find with the B&B sheets, I don't do a minimum night over there, so I mainly have one-nighters, and it's a lot of washing. So that's my luxury. On a Monday and Wednesday, I have lovely Piri. But then I tend to iron on a Friday and a Sunday night, because I don't want to overwhelm Piri. So, and I say iron, I might do all of the tumble drying, just put that in and then fold the clothes and put those away. And then Piri will iron the big stuff, Simon's shirts, B&B sheets, our sheets, whatever it might be. I'm quite particular. I really like iron sheets. Even though I dry them above the Arga, I hang them out as perfectly as I possibly can. All the bed sheets get ironed, which is probably something I don't need to do, but I like it. I like to walk into a room and see beautifully ironed sheets. So that's what we do. But I do find that actually if you do a little and often, it's much better. And I do find when I have got clothes that are dry, if I just put them straight from the line into the dryer, do the 5-minute thing, fold them, put them away, it is so much better than having an absolute mountain. And saying that because the last few days haven't gone completely to plan, I've got a bit of a mountain building up, and obviously Piri isn't coming at the moment, so I'm got a lot to do. What is your favourite scent to wear at the moment? I think I've talked about this before. I am still wearing this. I absolutely adore it. It is Acqua di Parma Magnolia Nobile, and Sai bought it for me and I just love it. So pretty, fragrant. I wear it day, evening, whatever. We haven't really been going out very much in the evening, but I just wear that. And I think it's lovely to have a sort of scent that is recognised as your scent. I really like that, so I don't change it up too much. I'll probably stick with this for a couple of years. Favourite everyday clothing brands, please. Okay, Boden. This is Boden. I love Boden. I do get a few bits from H&M. I do Zara, Cezanne, J. Crew. I really love J. Crew. What else? M&S has some brilliant things. I think that's probably about it. I tend, as you probably know if you've been watching my channel for a while, I love pre-loved clothes. This cashmere jumper is pre-loved. So I kind of mix it up. I don't buy masses of new stuff each year. I probably will buy, 4 or 5 pieces per season, and that's it. I tend to sort of rotate clothes, and I don't wear them too hard. So, obviously I kind of work clothes. Actually, no, I don't tend to wear out clothes, maybe jeans, yes, but that's about it. I think if you look after things, they last a long time. Obviously, you know, white tops and things after a year or so, if you've worn them a lot, will get quite tired and need replacing. Okay, next question. Do you have any tips on how to get rid of sweat stains under armpits of t-shirts? Yes. Baking powder mixed into a paste, put on to the stain and leave it there for a couple of hours and then wash it per normal. That does help, but this is my deodorant. Native deodorant. It is American. It's made in San Francisco. I buy it online. Again, I will link it below. This is a completely not a game changer. So I really wanted to use a deodorant that was good for me, good for my body, that didn't have all the nasties in it. And I've been using this now for about a year, and actually probably a few months after I started using this brand of deodorant, I said to Si, have you noticed that I've been smelling differently? I didn't say badly, I just said differently. And he was like, no, I haven't noticed anything. Because I didn't, you know, sometimes it's difficult. You don't necessarily know that you're not smelling that great yourself. You need somebody else to tell you. He hadn't said anything. But I obviously work out a lot and I sweat when I do my workouts. You know, I get properly hot and sweaty, and this works. It is incredible. And I've also noticed since I've been using it that my clothing's not stained like it used to be using regular deodorants. So this I cannot more highly recommend. It is quite expensive, but it lasts a very, very long time. A really long time. I bought this one just before Christmas, and you know, this is going to last me months still. So this is only my second one. It's amazing. They have loads of other different fragrances. They smell, you know, this is lavender and rose. It smells beautiful, and sad, I know. You didn't know you were going to get such a spiel about deodorant. I get excited about using it. I really love it. Can't more highly recommend that. It's free of parabens. It's free of aluminium. It is cruelty-free. Excellent stuff. Do you have a favourite springtime activity? Yes, walking. I just love walking in the springtime and seeing. So I think first you have, you know, the primroses that come up, and then you've got the daffodils and all those beautiful spring flowers, and then the bluebells. And the bluebells around us are incredible. So I think just walking and being outside in nature, getting out in the garden, getting my hands dirty, and yeah, that's just being outside. What plans do you have this spring for your kitchen garden? Oh, actually a box of goodies has just arrived from Sarah Raven. So I'm not going to go and open it because I know what's in it. It's some more dahlia tubers. I wanted a few different varieties, and I've been very much pinks and pastels and pales. I've gone for a few bolder colours this year. And I've also got some potatoes from Sarah Raven. She had a sale on, and I thought, you know what, I am going to get a few bits and pieces. So I am putting in potatoes. I've got broad beans that are sown. I have got peas that are sown. I have got French beans, which haven't gone in yet. It's a bit too early. Climbing French beans, those did so well last year. I have got lettuces. I am not doing carrots because they just don't work. I think they're so much better in a raised bed, particularly here. We're on heavy clay, and even though I did the no dig and put, you know, layers of compost, they just couldn't get down, and they were odd shapes, and yeah. So I'm not bothering with carrots or parsnips, and I'm not bothering with spinach because I don't know, I like baby spinach, and I just had these massive leaves and I didn't like them. So lettuces, beans, peas, I've got my rhubarbs, I've got some potatoes. I'm going to grow more flowers in my kitchen garden this year, actually. And then I've got my strawberries and my raspberries, tomatoes and cucumbers. And I think I bought some aubergine, which did really well. Not last year, I didn't do them last year, but the year before I had some great aubergines. So that is what I'm doing. Oh, and then some squash. That's my plan for the kitchen garden. Organising bed linen and extra blankets by the room or all together, please. By the room, so much easier. On my efficient home course, I share with you how I organise my airing cupboard, and I talk you through it, and I just find having everybody's by the room, and then the children all have a label with their name and all their bedding is there, and it's so much easier, definitely, I find, by the room. What are your favourite clothes shops, especially for good quality, long lasting? Boden and J. Crew. They tend to be really, really good quality and last really well. M&S cashmere for me lasts really well. Simon, not so well. He's really hard wearing on the elbows in particular. But I find M&S cashmere I've got, you know, from 5-6 years ago still in my wardrobe, going strong. But yeah, Boden and J. Crew would have to be my favourite high street for quality. Next we have, how do you motivate teens to do their bit around the house? Struggling with that here. I understand, it is a struggle. So they just don't have any tech. They have their things that they need to do, and when they've done it, they can do what they want. When they haven't done it, they can't, basically. So if they want to go somewhere, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not driving you until you've, you know, done the wood, taken the dogs for a walk, made your bed. You know, they have to do those things, and we're quite strict on it. They have to help out. They have to empty the dishwasher. They have to bring the laundry down. I even got Gussie folding socks the other day. You know, they need to learn, and that's how I motivate them, by basically saying, well, what, you know, if you're not going to help, if you're not going to pull your weight, then I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z for you, because why should I? And I'm quite tough about it, but it works. If they're not doing what they should be doing, we'll just sit around and we'll have a chat and just say, come on, is it fair? You know, why is your time more important than my time? Why should I be doing this for you? Actually, come on, we're a family, we're a unit, we're a team, we need to work together, and you need to pull your weight. And I'm quite black and white, and maybe a bit bossy. Your music room, who plays what? It's just through there. So Gussie plays the drums and he sings. I got to see him, because we didn't go on our trip, I got to see him in his school informal concert yesterday, and oh, it was so gorgeous. It was so lovely listening to him. Coco plays the flute, she sings, and she is teaching herself to play the piano, so she is quite musical. Archie used to play the drums, he used to play the guitar, and he used to play the piano, and actually doesn't do any of them anymore, which is sad, but he is definitely the least musical of the three, and he's given it a go, and he just doesn't love it. He loves music, he just doesn't love playing it, so maybe he'll DJ or something like that, but there's a lot of music that happens in this family, and Cy plays the drums as well. I don't know if you can see, but there is a drum set kit just through there, so it's always pretty noisy. Favourite luxury hand cream? Oh, I'm a bit gutted. Crabtree and Evenling used to be my absolute favourite hand cream in the entire world, and they're no longer in business. This packaging is quite similar to theirs, and this is actually the Royal Botanic Gardens of Kew, and actually it smells really nice, and it's a lovely hand cream, so I'm quite enjoying that. This is probably my favourite luxury, and it's Juno, and look, I've nearly run out. That is really gorgeous. And then for everyday hand cream, Aveeno is really lovely. I actually keep this in my handbag, and I love that one. What are some good podcasts for older children, pre-teens? I don't know, actually. I need to do some research into that. Coco and I were talking about podcasts a couple of days ago, and I haven't got the children into podcasts. We have quite a large selection of audiobooks, and Coco's got a pile of audiobooks by her bed that she is listening to, those. But we were talking the other day about podcasts, but I haven't looked into that yet. And what podcast are you enjoying right now? Or what podcasts are you enjoying? I think the ones that I talked about before, so Elizabeth Day, How to Fail, I absolutely love that. Sarah Raven and Arthur Parkinson have a gardening podcast, which I really enjoy. Stephen Bartlett, Diaries of a CEO, is my new absolute favourite. He has interviewed some amazing people, really, really interesting. They're quite long episodes, which I like. I will put one on and get stuck into a job, and they're over an hour, so they're good. And he's fascinating. I really, really like him, and I really rate him. I think he is a breath of fresh air, and yeah, I'm a big fan. And I just thought of another one, Jenna Kutcher, Gold Digger. I have been enjoying her podcast for quite a few years on the business side of things. That is quite good. What is your best marriage advice? We're getting married this summer. Communication. Communication is absolute key. It is so important to talk to one another about how you are feeling and be honest. And then time, having time together, making time together is really key. And whether that is 10 minutes on the sofa in the evening, if you've had a super busy day and that's all the time you've got, or just going for a walk, or putting something in your diary, whether it's once a week or once a month, that you have some time together. And, as I said earlier, I'm really, really disappointed that I haven't gone away with Si, because I was really looking forward to having some time away from here, away from the children, just the two of us, that we could, that to me, time is so precious and special. So we will make time for one another in another way, and that is really, really crucial. And set that in stone, put it in your diary. Never going to bed on an argument is really important. And I think supporting each other through difficult times, saying, I love you, I am here for you, we're in this together, we're going to get through this, because there will be tough times. And I think it's really important to say those words, because you're not mind readers of each other. It's really important to voice how you are feeling, because that person might be feeling quite different and not realise that it's having an effect on you. So that is really, really key. Communication, talking, and making time and saying, I love you, and well done, or we can get through this, or we can work through this together. And we, as a team, as a unit, as a couple. What's a gadget above your washing machine, and would you recommend it? It's a Black & Decker little kind of hoovery thing. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. It was much more useful when the children were little. It's quite good for the car. It's quite good for just crumbs on the table or under the table or whatever, if you don't want to get the vacuum cleaner out. But to be honest, I find it a little bit of a faff to empty it. So I would rather just get the vacuum cleaner out and use that, rather than having to have another thing to clean and look after and empty. So I wouldn't bother. I do still keep it though, but I probably should charity shop it at some point soon. Okay, we have 2 more questions. How do you keep everybody happy? I don't think I'm going to answer that, but I'm going to tell you this. My new podcast, which is coming soon, I know I've been talking about this for a while, but it is coming soon, is called Busy House, Happy Home, where we dive deep into being happy and having a happy home, and how to have a happy home, how to keep everybody happy. And yes, so do you know what? I'm not going to answer that now, because that is coming in the podcast, which I don't know exactly when it's starting, but it's imminent. Hopefully within the next few weeks or month, it will be here with you. It has taken a little while. My new website is being constructed as we speak, and I can have the podcast via that, which is the main reason for the delay. And we have also had Wi-Fi issues here, which has meant I haven't been able to record easily and had to just come up with a plan B. Look at these two. They are so sweet. Having mother and daughter is just the most gorgeous thing. Penny is out for the count. Little Florence is very naughty and very, very scruffy. I think she needs another groom. Look at those gorgeous spring daffodils. I'm so pleased with them this year. I followed Sarah Raven's advice on her podcast with Arthur Parkinson about planting lots of bulbs in each container, and it's made a massive difference. They are now like wow factors. The impact of having lots of bulbs in one container just looks gorgeous. And you, my little baby sausage, are terribly cute, even upside down like that. Penny hasn't even been moved. He hasn't even moved. She's not even aware that I am here. I've been prattling for over a minute and she's still out for the count. One tired mummy. I know the feeling, Pen. So the final question is from a lovely lady in America. Kind of a personal question, but when does Simon plan to retire, and what are your future plans to do? Right, well, I asked Si about this earlier, and to be honest, his business has been hit really hard by COVID. He sells fish to restaurants, and obviously the restaurants were closed for on and off for quite a long time. So that wasn't great. Brexit hit us pretty hard pre-COVID, so that wasn't ideal. We didn't go into COVID in the strongest of positions. And then in the last week, everything that's happening in the world between Russia and Ukraine is devastating on so many levels. It is just horrific what is happening in the world right now, but it has had a big impact on the fish business, and there are sanctions in place, and so that is another hard hit for us. And I feel really privileged that we have our family, we have our health, we have each other, and we will get through this in the best way we possibly can, like we have done in the past. And I did actually say to him last night, I said, darling, whatever happens, we can do this. We just have to communicate with one another, we have to be kind, we have to be loving, we have to support each other in the best possible way, and we can get through this. And so basically the short answer is he has no immediate plans of retiring anytime soon. And one day I dream that we can travel and we can explore the world, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But we have to hang on to all the things that are positive in our lives, and I feel so grateful that we have this, and we have our family. And I just feel so desperately sad for all of those people that are going through utter horrors at the moment. It's just completely inconceivable in today's world that this is happening, and I really hope that it doesn't go on for too much longer. But all we can do is hope and pray, be kind, support one another, be loving, and do the best that we can possibly do. So On that note, I am going to end today's Q&A. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for all your lovely kindness and support and encouragement with Ask Charlie. I have actually got something exciting to share with you. I've got an Easter course starting very, very soon. So that, watch this space. There is, well, when this comes out, there will be all the information for you to enrol if you'd like to on my Easter course. We are cooking, we are crafting, we are baking, we are decorating, we are setting the table, we are doing flowers, we are doing Easter wreaths. I will give you a sneak peek into these that I have made as Easter decorations. So there is lots of exciting things to come, and I'm focusing all of my energy into that, and that keeps me going and keeps me strong. So anyway, enough ramble, loads of love, and I will see you again next week.